Well, you take care of this one.
All right. Annie's cast now. It's like Warriors Gaming Unity are going to ban that Naga we mentioned in Series 1 that you can't give Miracle a Naga. It's not something you're allowed to do. So it's going to be first ban along with the Weaver that was picked up both games last series. So Warriors Gaming did their homework here, watched last series, got a little bit more insight as to how Mineski are operating now. Maybe a little bit of a leg up. Again, Warriors doing extremely well so far in Mr. Cat. Mineski as well. This is kind of the two top dogs of their group paired up against each other in a best of two. And I'm very excited to see who's going to come out on top.
Having played each other too much recently, which is, a little surprising just because the region's not that huge and they're...
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Oof. What are your predictions based on how you've seen both teams play individually over the last couple of days?
Before this morning, I probably would have said Warriors Gaming with a decent advantage, but Mineski definitely looked better. I'd say maybe like 60-40 Warriors after this morning.
Oh man, I'm the other way. I'm thinking 60-40 Mineski. Let's fight.
Dire team pick.
Let's fight about it.
We're just taking it right in the first two. And for a good reason. Oh, there we go, though. The Oracle.
Rest in peace, Ion Shells.
Yeah, exactly.
Lifestealer is still untouched.
True. Probably not going to last much longer, though.
Yeah, Mineski would love to get that Lifestealer to pair with the Slardar. Clearly, Miracle is comfortable on it. But Warriors Gaming, they've got ways to deal with it.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so we could look towards our other Oracle friends, too. I mean, obviously, he's the big counter pick to the Darkseer, and you just, you fortunes end off these Ion Shells, you're saying, but plenty of heroes pretty well with the Oracle too. It's not just a counter player. He loves to be paired up with OD, one of his favorites. Let him go crazy in the team fight. Sometimes even like your PAs or Ursos too.
I have not seen a whole lot of PAs in the professional scene, and I would definitely love to, especially in the Southeast Asian scene, to see what happens when you farm them up.
Yeah, we got a couple of them so far in Mr. Cat, which has been pretty exciting. It's pretty cool
to see
the
more Templar
double...
Assassins.
Oh yeah, TA too. Yeah, she also goes very well with the Oracle, so it's not too bad with some minus armor Revenge. There's so much value in Fortunes in this game too, just because it's also going to work up against our Corrosive Haze too. So, although the hero's not picked up that often anymore, this was.
How do you feel about Slardar's skill change names? Because it bothers me, dude. I can never see the amp damage thing and think, oh yeah, it's Corrosive Haze.
Yeah, I'm getting there, but it's I don't know. I say Wind Ranger now, so I'm a fully changed man. I can be anything after that change.
That's impressive. I'm still on Windrunner, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Lycan gonna be banned out along with the Jug. Warriors got one more chance to ban the Lifestealer before Mineski perhaps snatch that one up. I mean, Warriors clearly not too phased by it right now. It wasn't their top priority to get the Lifestealer out of the pool. What are some ways that Warriors can deal with the Lifestealer if it does come out?
Kind of the same thing we always talk about, where you just want to dodge out these Slardar ganks. Like, whenever Slardar's off the map, you should be aware of what they're doing. But yeah, they're just going to ban it.
Taking it out.
They know that they're not going to be putting a lot of pressure on either, which is why the Slark ban is so good, because they have an Oracle. Like, you can't go aggro with an Oracle. Like, virtually guaranteed that you won't. Plus, they want to be up against the Darkseer in lane with the Oracle anyway, so whatever hard carry or position 1 they get from Mineski, they're not going to be bothering him too much early on, at least not showing so far.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, you think Mineski are going to keep picking purple heroes? Because that would make me happy.
Well, who's left for purple heroes? Dazzle would be a purple with more minus armor strategy.
But Dazzle's pink. Let's get real.
He's pretty purple.
He's got like purple pants.
I mean, as far as purple heroes go, like they could Witch Doctor too, very purple.
I'm thinking like Witch Doctor, Bane. Oh, Crystal Maiden, not exactly purple, but.
Oh, so we talked about this yesterday. Crystal Bane is super good with new Darkseer. I feel like we might see this a lot because he really helps out for the mana problems he has with the Ion Shell. It like basically saves the hero by giving him that mana regen to actually keep up with the Ion Shells like he used to be able to. Plus the hero's strong in general overall right now.
We'll see what other heroes they're going to pick up that are going to super benefit from that mana. Would it be like totally outrageous for Mineski to pick up a Sven or Wraith King, something that usually has a lot of mana problems?
I think Crystal Maiden, she's okay with those two heroes, but for the most part, they need like just arcane boots because when they actually need their stuns and their ults and stuff, it has to be instantaneous rather than like that regen over time. However, Sven does sync up well with the Darkseer, so a possibility. Unfortunately, he's also a lot weaker than he used to be because like the neutral rotations are into issues with that and whatnot.
Yeah, he definitely needs those stacks going for him, but it's a little bit harder every 2 minutes now.
Yeah.
Either way, Warriors thinking about their next pick, still need their mid, still need their cores. I mean, I'm assuming that's going to be a position for Venge. Do you think we see something like a core Venge?
Radiant team pick.
Well, now we do. I think
Yeah.
this is more likely position 4. So, I was kind of eyeing out the core Venge that for that as well for the whole time, but it's always not guaranteed. I do like it up against the Darkseer, especially against the Slardar too. Like if they're going to be actually coming into your lane,
10
you do need
seconds
someone who's
remaining.
relatively beefy, as well as having the stun available is very handy. So they can't like combo up
5
anything with the
seconds
Slardar.
remaining.
Can't just run you down or something either with the double ion shells. So
Oh,
Dire
we finally
team
have a
pick.
Shadow Fiend pickup after it's been banned out, last ban for the last couple of series. So lots of damage coming out from Mineski if they're actually able to get a safe lane for their mid. Oh!
Oh, yeah,
Radiant
that guy.
team ban.
Huh.
I, for some reason, just assumed that was banned against
Yeah.
Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, it has been like every game so far. It hadn't even like crossed my mind that he'd still be in the pool. So they've seen 4 heroes and they say, "Yep, okay, this looks pretty good." With the
10
silencer
seconds
initiation as well,
remaining.
I would not want to be on Mineski right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Your prediction of Warriors Gaming taking a quick series, maybe a bit more spot on with this Meepo pick, but I still think Mineski are looking really crisp. I mean, how do you deal with a Meepo aside from just trying to kill him as many times as possible? You can't let him farm, you can't let him have any space on the map.
And I think we've gotten to the point with Meepo where we just be a consensus that you just
seconds
can't deal with them, right?
remaining.
I mean, when the heroes are first banned, that just means you can't deal with them for the most
5
part, or like
seconds
you have to
remaining.
alter your draft so much that he's hard to handle and game with. So
Reserve
their
time.
position 1 is the hero left. This is probably the time to just ban Sven. He's like the go-to ban against Meepos, and it fits well with the Darkseer. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like even if they get the Sven, I don't think it's like GG for Mineski and that you just win because you Sven versus Meepo. But I also think in terms of position 1s, he's probably one of the better ones left. But
Dire
single target
team
focus
pick.
also good. So it'll be Lone Druid.
Yeah, LD just still a little bit broken right now. Don't want to take any gambles with that. I have seen many an unlucky route in my day, but that's going to be knocked out. Warriors Gaming going in for their final pick
10
here.
seconds remaining.
I mean, what do they need for the cherry on top? Because they have got a really strong draft
5
already.
seconds remaining.
Well, it should be. They're saying the
Reserve
offlane that makes
time.
sense because Venge 1, Meepo mid. What is their go-to here? The lane doesn't really matter. I think Sanking's banned out already. He was nice and early. I don't know. What does Ben want to do this game? What's his job, his role? Nothing like too crazy, honestly. You can pretty much just like Nyx is still in.
Nyx is available. What about like a Beastmaster? Is that too greedy?
This pass is good for the vision to help out. And he's a decent stun lockdown with just like the roar and everything for Shadow Fiend for BKB piercing. I think I like the Nyx the most though, just because of the carapace up against the Darkseer.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. I just worry that he'll get completely starved out in lane, but they're going to go with the Nyx.
Radiant
Very nice
team
call,
pick.
Moppax.
You know me. I will be right back.
Okay. I got it. All right. Mineski going into their last pick here. We'll see what they're going to pick up for their position 1. Again, Sven is something we talked about a lot. The stun is going to be
10
great
seconds
against the
remaining.
Meepos, but he needs a lot of time to farm up. May still have mana problems even with the Crystal
5
Maiden,
seconds
and
remaining.
he's not going to guarantee them a completely safe late game as Meepo can just continue to ball out of
Reserve
control.
time.
They're going to dip into their reserve time for this last pick, and we'll see what they're going to go with. Definitely scared about the Nyx Assassin just kind of creeping up, popping really easy supports. I mean, that Crystal Maiden is going to be one Vendetta strike and an Impale away from death at all times, so can't necessarily count on her getting off all her spells in every team fight. It is going to be the Sven pickup. All right, casters, we got this. Let's do it. Yeah. Again, this is going to be a 2-game series, Warriors Gaming Unity versus Mineski. We are in the group stages of Mr. Cat Season 2, the most prestigious Southeast Asian tournament running at this time, I think, probably. I don't of ever. And how do you feel about the Mineski draft? I went for the Sven like we talked about. I think they've got pretty strong lanes, but I'm just real scared of that Meepo.
Yeah, I think they're probably happy they were able to grab the Sven at the end. I'm sure they were like, okay, well, at least we have Sven, but it's Meepo. First pick for a reason. I would be inclined if it's gaming. Just it's the slight edge.
All right, we've got our ceremonial pause at the start of our game. So odds for this particular game, seeing the draft, seeing how the teams have performed so far, I'm still, in this game, I'm 50-50.
Think so?
Yeah, I was favoring Mineski a little bit, but I really like the Warriors draft. I think it could go either way depending on how strong Mineski get their lane started.
I'd say I've like upped my edge a little bit as well. So I'd say like 65-35, but
oof.
We'll see. I'm not counting them out. It's just Meepo Gaming XD. So Ajit can be handling that one here in the mid lane. And everything else looks to be as expected here. Early ward down from the Radiant. We'll spot these rotations, or rather, we'll spot anyone coming into the tower here on the dire side. A little bit of an aggressive one for sure, but no one coming early gets away with it.
Rest of Mineski, they're all grouping up in this top cluster wanting to defend this rune. No one actually guarding the bottom rune on the Radiant side, but doesn't look like the Dire are too keen on trying to swipe that one up. They just want to make sure they get their core started off with the runes on their side of the map.
Yeah, they're all very wary of like a smoke running, I guess. He doesn't want to be down here.
It's going to be the trickiest lane. I'm thinking Darkseer going up against an Oracle is going to suck hard for him.
Yeah, they've made the rotation on their side, though.
Jules.
Oh, look, they're even going to like bait out with Jules as if he's a solo offlaner. Kind of a smart little play. And like, oh shit, why is there a Sven here?
Oh.
So he just gets the rune. And, well, I guess they know he wouldn't have solo offlaner, but just running up in their face. Could be like a dual offlaner with Darkseer. But either way, they've made the expected aggressive decision here. Generally what you want to do if the matchup is that awful. Like, because Darkseer just would not be able to do anything up there. And if he tried to just offlane and head into these camps on the Radiant side, then Silencer would just roam in and bug him the whole time. So Mineski has no choice but to send him bottom. And in this case, this actually is fine for Mineski. There's kind of a tough call by Warriors Gaming is to like, okay, so are we going to rotate? Like, what do we do in this scenario?
Yeah. We'll see how these lanes hold up for them for now. Down bottom, it should be a pretty easy time. Again, Darkseer harassing the Nyx with the Ion Shell until he grabs a couple points in Carapace. That's not all too difficult. Top lane's where we're going to see the action going on. We already got that freeze crush going on the Vengeful Spirit. She's got herself a stun. She's going to take a stun from Sven, but this is most likely going to be first blood. One more hit would have been enough, but Nana is going to get back. Helped out a little bit by the Oracle, and now Jules is the one dropping low. Has to go tango up.
Oh man, they really needed that kill up top there. Finding so many resources from the Radiant side. Sven especially. Like, that's his one of two stuns. And he'll just go for the deny in the jungle.
Yeah, speaking of resources and mana problems, our Darkseer is in Strug City right now. He's got himself a Clarity, but Ben has just stayed right on top of him, so it's very difficult for him to channel that up and also still be in experience range.
Yeah, even mana burning him, that's brutal. But
yeah.
He knows that right now that Crystal Maiden, because that's the other thing, they're aggro trilaning with a Crystal Maiden and they didn't get the kill. So her experience is really weak and she's going to take a long time to get up into that Arcane Aura. She has found herself the Satyr, so even if she doesn't get the last hit here, she will get the experience. They're going to try and come and soak as much as they can. And Ninja Boogie gets 2, which is just huge for the other lanes.
Ooh, Crystal Maiden actually might be in some trouble here. All three heroes going to rotate down. They've got Jules to defend. He's going to go ahead. One-man crush, but he's now drawing a lot of aggro himself. Jules should be able to get away from this, although the magic missile to re-engage is at least going to chunk him down a little bit. He can wait near that shrine. Looks like him and Ninja Boogie may make use of that.
Invisibility.
6 saves for Ara, though. Like, the fact that he has that mana aura is just, like, his life would just be awful without it. He'd be totally useless, so.
Mid lane, Afu coming in with that invis gank. Can Ajit actually capitalize on this? He's got that 1 point in Earthbind. Very difficult kill to get. It looks like they're going to go ahead and try. Ajit going forward. The net does latch. They're going to bring in both Meeps, but Ajit gets so low. He's taking tower aggro, and one more hit will mean first blood on the Meepos. Flashed up top, we've got our Vengeful Spirit taking some damage, getting sandwiched in between two heroes. The Frostbite secures another kill, going the way of Mineski.
I was really greedy to try and make that work off that Invis rune.
I think it was just desperation. I mean, the Silencer spent so much time setting up for that. The Meepo was like, I landed the net, may as well commit to this, but underestimating a Shadow Fiend early, resulting in the death of a Meepo is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad for Meepo, but he'll bounce back. At least it's not, those deaths matter a lot more in like 5 more minutes for a Meepo, so won't be the biggest deal for now. Just start his way into the jungle, and someone else from the dire side could head to mid and start soaking up as much experience as possible. But with an aggro try, that also becomes a little bit more difficult. So far, all the lanes working out very well for Mineski. They haven't lost anyone in this top pressuring lane. Ninja Boogie's doing okay in terms of experience, and they might get another kill.
Yeah, the Silencer getting very, very low. He's doing whatever he can, casting what he can do before he goes down, but that's going to be another kill going the way of
Anna
Sven
goes
this
boost. They
time.
didn't use Stormhammer, though.
Well, now they did.
Yeah.
And that's, I think Venge was just like, all right, well, no one's looking. I'm just going to go sneak around to the side shop, but...
Yeah, that was bad. I don't know. Maybe Nana thought that Sven had used Stormhammer or something, but that was a big mistake. Just like a feed.
Yeah, it's looking good for Mineski right now. 4-0. Big notable difference in the mid lane right now as our Shadow Fiend is getting a lot of farm, even up against Meepos in the jungle now. He's still outlasting them. He's able to get some harass onto the tower, and he's even forcing out the Fortify.
Yeah, he's got 3 levels in the raises. No one else really wants to come into this mid lane and do anything about it. Who would even survive here is basically the question. So they're gonna go for a little bit of a rotation. Gonna try and send their safe lane down to the bottom to get some better farm, and hope to catch up a kill using Ben before they make the full rotation. And he's baiting here with this Mango. This might work if RR gets a little bit greedy, but pulling away.
RR's been playing this lane really well. This may just be too much for him. No matter where he positioned himself, he will take the missile. They've got the follow-up of the Nyx Impale if they can get in range. He's just on the edge of it right now. They go for the mana burn. A couple more shots will take out RR. In the end, it's the Wave of Terror from Nana that secures the kill.
How often level 1 Wave of Terror gets to snag a kill up, but pure damage, pretty good at the... Wait, magical damage. Oh yeah, man, I'm going a little bit old school here.
That's because we were talking about that Vengeful Spirit getting that pure damage missile.
I actually still thought her Wave of Terror was pure damage, but there you go. How the times have changed.
Well, Venge back up top. Maybe going to take a Stormhammer in the next couple of seconds, but Sven decides better of it, rotates all the way around. And speaking of rotations, looking at this mid lane, we have got a smoked up Radiant Wad that would love to tangle. Ajit's going to go ahead and break Ninja Boogie's smoke, but they still can't secure the kill on the Meepo. They get the Frostbite. There's a TP in coming from X Nova, but it's a bit too late. And this Oracle might be in some dangerous territory as well. Miracle finishes off the tower. There's going to be Oracle doing whatever he can to hold back the wave of Radiant damage, but Jules has another crush up and another sprint and is able to lock it down. So that's going to be Oracle dropping down. 2 kills going the way of Miracle. This mid laner is off to an unstoppable start.
Yeah, it's 6-1, and Meepo's got nothing.
Yeah, it's
He is poor. He's poorer than his Nyx assassin.
Although I have learned you can't underestimate a Meepo. I've seen a bare bones Meepo who's just in Strug City for the first 30 minutes of the game, and then, whoops, he has 5 minutes of farm to himself, and he's completely 6-slotted.
Under attack.
It definitely can happen, and they're
A
going to
slight
need
exaggeration, but can happen.
no,
Meepo,
bang on.
see,
I like it.
5 minutes of farm equals 6 full slots. It could happen. I really like the way this Darkseer's been playing. He's been pretty much mana starved the entire laning phase, but he's budgeting his Ion Shells really well. He's staying exactly where he needs to in terms of inexperience range, but out of range of Nyx Impales. He's just very, very smart with his positioning.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Ben can be the one as the dire offlaner to maybe turn this game around.
Ninja Boogie baiting out a little bit of damage from the Meepo. Gonna be able to go through, lands the Frostbite. They've got the sprint from Jules. Earthbind comes in, but Jules is gonna be turning, focusing down the other Meep. They get the crush. They've got the Stormhammer if necessary. Oracle's gonna be using what he can to lock down the Sven in place. Impale comes in, connects onto 2. They bring the Meepos back in. This is a great fight for Warriors Gaming. They pick off 2. It was overconfidence from Mineski. They thought they could secure that Meepo, but the rotations from Warriors Gaming make this a very dire heavy fight.
Yeah, that was perfect execution from Ben as well. And he was even the second TP. The Oracle went first, then he had the delayed one, but he knew he had only one way to turn around that fight, and he had to hit a 2-man Impale, go immediately into Vendetta, and kill the Sven, and that's exactly what he did. Had he missed either one on that Impale, it's very likely Meepo would have went down. And even then, it still would have been a like okay trade for WG, but they really need this Meepo to get going. So ensuring that he landed the double impale might have been like early game saving here as they go again or after Ajit.
As Meepo's not going to get any time to himself.
Well, they split too.
They definitely have that split target syndrome, but the vacuum will secure at least a bit of reinitiation. RR chasing after Ajit, and there's nothing they can do. The Oracle, his TP's still on cooldown, couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, he was shockingly close to saving that one.
Dire's top tower is
You look at the net worth breakdown right now, and it's looking pretty scary for Warriors Gaming. The Radiant getting off to a good start. On the heroes it's crucial for, the Sven, the Darkseer, and the Shadow Fiend are going to be at the top of your net worth chart. Up top, initiation onto the Oracle. He's easily able to purge off the Frostbite, but look at the damage coming out of Shadow Fiend right now.
Gone on from, oh, the turnaround with the God Strength.
Looks like our Sven may still end up going down, but he's able to take someone with him. Meanwhile, that Shadow Fiend was able to chase down the Oracle in the top, but it's going to be a 2-for-1. You never want to lose the Sven like that, but probably a worthwhile engage.
Yeah, Miracle's kind of destroying up here, so overall, things still quite fine for Mineski.
Yeah, his damage is a little bit off the charts right now, getting close to 200 a pop.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's Dragonlance too. They don't have the best initiation other than the Nyx Assassin, and you can imagine Ninja Boogie's gonna be pretty poverty mode. And with sentries only being 100 gold, it's helpful for someone like CM to make sure she can always have one as well for when they're pushing into these towers.
Now Meepo's still chugging along. He's got himself some treads. He's got that poor man's shield. He'll have his Dragonlance and about 800 gold. So that's probably going to make a little bit of a difference. At least he'll be able to clear jungle camps a lot quicker, but it's going to be a while before Mineski are running in fear of a Meepo. Ben going in down bottom, would like to get the kill on Jules. They got the Vendetta Strike, they got the Impale, and with the missile, they have the lockdown necessary to take out this Lardar.
Ben's having a really good game so far.
Yeah.
One thing we've seen in all of Mr. Cat so far is it's not that easy to just come out of laning stage as Nyx Assassin and get a bunch of done. People are very wary of what the hero wants to do. They have plenty of sentries everywhere. Like, they even have the mid covered. There was that one up top while they were pushing there too. And the only uncovered spot bottom is where they go down. So Ben just finding the right targets at the right times.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is under
he's not
attack.
doing too bad on the net worth, although he is still, again, well behind his Darkseer counterpart here from RR.
Rotation coming in. Magic Missile is going to be used as well as the Impale, so Darkseer can just chase down Nana without fear of being stopped. They bring the Shadow Fiend forward as well. He's got the damage they need. Just look at Nana being obliterated. That's a mega kill streak coming out of Miracle. 5-0 now, and I don't think this bottom tower is staying alive much longer.
Yeah, I like how Jules just like, nope, yeah, we're fine. I don't need to run in for this crush here. I'll just give him a little amplify, and DD Miracle can clean things up for us here. So we have the global, so theoretically they can go for like a global play where they just initiate in, and there are no sentries here for the Radiant, but there's just so many heroes.
Like, that could be great for an initiation, but then what? Then you're stuck in this wad of Radiant damage, and they can easily turn things around after the global's done.
And there's our sentry here now too.
Dire's bottom tower.
Tower
So
goes
deny.
down.
Actually, the catapult gets it.
Yay. I like it when the siege creep gets it. It makes it feel special.
And the early sentry from the Dire just means that they have to at least come back and throw some vision over top of this. At least they have Wave of Terror. They won't have to waste a sentry.
Crystal Maiden's backing out of this bottom engage. Looks like Blue also heading out. Our Sven going towards mid, trying to push that area. Leaving Miracle just to continue his farm. He is balling out of control. He's almost at a full Shadow Blade at 11 minutes in, on top of Dragonlance and Treads.
And Raging Potato's gone for a build that'll help him accelerate along with his Shadow Fiend. Not going to go for like any sort of slower pace. This is kind of the standard one now anyway, just because Mask of Madness didn't really work out, I think, as like OP as people thought it might be on Sven, as like well synchronized.
Oh.
It's not quite there, so you just go for this early armlet instead, and you can fight.
Got Warriors Gaming, they go for a scan. They know that Radiant's in the Roche pit. This is their fight to take. Wave of Terror connects on all the global silence. Oh, as well as the Earthbind. They're getting what they need. The Sven's locked in place. He's going to be throwing out a Stormhammer. The wall doing so much work. Sven is still alive. Healed up by the Purifying Flames. He does end up going down, but the Slardar is able to clean up the mess. So far, the Chorus and Mineski are still doing what they need to. They get down the Shadow Fiend, and Ares going to be a Darkseer picking up a double kill. Finally, it's a full wipe in favor of Mineski, losing the Sven, losing the Shadow Fiend, but the supports are able to finish the whole deal.
Damn. I'm not even sure how this recap's gonna go. Yeah, they actually do get the gold advantage, despite going down as 5. It actually
That Darkseer wall
favors
was
them.
phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a very nice wall. You can just tell by all the copies he sent running away from it.
You got like all your copies of Meepo just sitting there fighting the other Meepos.
And X Nova comes back. He'll start the dewarding process.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very handy in the current scenario as well. As there is some time here, but there's no global this time, so very unlikely to be able to win any sort of fight here. And Miracle, yeah, he just went right back to the BKB. Okay, guaranteed play from Ninja Boogie. I like it.
I like that.
Speed up the
The
roast a
just in
bit.
case play.
Yep.
In case Nyx is there with the Vendetta.
Radiant
So we have our Aegis, we have our BKB done on Miracle here in about 700 gold.
Ooh.
Just going for the let's end the game play. I can appreciate when you have an armlet Sven.
I mean, the Sven is just going to keep scaling up indefinitely. It's all about getting the most out of that Shadow Fiend in the early game while he's still outputting stupid amounts of damage, and so far Warriors Gaming just can't keep him locked down long enough.
Even gonna work towards our Crimson Guard here on our Darkseer.
Our Darkseer has his 13-minute Soul Ring Greaves.
Yeah, kind of farmed.
Yeah, just
speaking
a
of
little
farm,
bit, you know.
Ajit's doing it. He's catching up. He's got a blink and a lance. Oh, well, Ben sees a very juicy Crystal Maiden in mid. Although Silencer is pinging out here saying there's a sentry there, so be careful. That's enough to dissuade Ben from heading that way.
Yeah, right now, Mineski, they're feeling real comfortable. They don't have to be too scared of one little Nyx poking around. Looking at the overall net worth, it's about 10,000 in favor of Mineski right now. But again, Meepos, I've seen them come back from worse. They're going to be going through, taking out this bottom tower, a little bit of gold going towards our Meeps, and they're going to TP towards this mid lane, trying to catch the Darkseer off guard. He gets stunned up by the Carapace, and they're probably going to be able to find that free pick there. He's going to go ahead, try to surge himself off, but bringing the magic missile from the Venge, and the Impale does secure the lockdown. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to lose their tower here, so trading a Darkseer for a tier 2,
top tower
still going to be helping out Mineski in the long run.
Yeah, it's very difficult for Warriors Game to actually catch up onto them, but I think that's actually a fine trade, as long as Meepo is getting those kills once again here. And Darkseer, without a Blink Dagger, he's not very slippery, and he also doesn't really have that initiation, so it is still just on Jewels. Lead them into these battles with Raging Potato building up into his Echo Saber, which will have in another 800 gold.
is under attack.
Oh, he's still quite a ways away from Blink, so maybe Warriors Gaming can just keep going with these Nyx assassin ganks. Life can turn their way.
The Meepo is doing really well for the start he had. He's now second on the net worth chart. He's spreading out his farm. You mentioned he has his Blink pickup, and now he's already got 1,700 more gold, so I think odd shit's going to be the key back into this game for Warriors. They just got to find him the farm and the space he needs, and hell, a pick on a Sven will sure do that to you. Look at this initiation. They've got him.
Yeah, this is what they need. They just Ben to start off and Ajit to clean it up.
Oh, Jules, though, he's
Jules?
coming in. He's not going to let anyone get away. Ajit's going to TP out, and we'll be able to drag the rest of his Meeps away with him. So it's just going to be Ben and Afu left in the fight. Ninja Boogie going through. We'll be able to land the freeze, but gets stunned up by the Carapace. Nice impale through the trees, clips onto the Slardar. There's going to be a freeze left in 1 more second, so Ben will give his life. But in the long run, still making sure his Meepos are getting what they need. Is Ben going to actually get out of this?
Should be dead. There's still Blink on Slardar, so...
He's just toying with their emotions right now.
And there was a guaranteed escape there too, because they could have just like globaled and TP'd, but they don't want to waste it. They're just saying, you know, we need this aggressively. We need to find a bigger fight. I don't want to use it just to save our Nyx assassin. And as long as the silencer got out, I think that's worth.
All right, so Warriors Gaming starting to shape up a little bit. Kill score being, brought closer to that even mark. Our overall XP, it's starting to tip back towards that 0 mark as well. And you can see the net worth, while still very much in Mineski's favor, is kind of planed out. They've stopped accelerating, and they really need to keep that momentum up. Just keep their foot on the gas pedal, keep finding farm for that Sven and that Shadow Fiend. But we'll see how it's going to continue as they're all smoked up, heading towards the mid.
And lying in wait here, maybe baiting Miracle perhaps a little bit here, but again, still 10-second BKB, hasn't popped it yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And I'm sure they're aware of what's happening here. Like, there's no way Miracle's just up here all by himself, but Still, they're not even gonna try and fight this. Well, they're gonna smoke. Probably trying to find that back line. Maybe they'll go for the entire wraparound here. Surprised they're
Yeah,
not
looks
just
like
sending in
they-
the mud golem.
Dyer's middle
Yeah,
tower
Mud Golem's
is
got something to
under
live for,
attack.
dude. He's got a family.
Dyer's middle
Can't just
tower
let him go like
has
that.
fallen.
Oh
Side-eye
god, the
knows.
Mud Golem.
Side-eye's pinging here saying, I think they're all here. Like trying some sort of wraparound play.
Let's see if their smoke's gonna pop, because even if it does, they've got that sentry there revealing the Nyx Vendetta. If he does opt to go into that now. There we go, the smoke's popped. There's gonna be swaps every
Oh,
which
perfect
way.
timing.
Very well played by Miracle, able to get up a full ult. They've got the wall to boot, and that is just going to be a cleanup from Mineski. That Carapace can't stop you now. 3 dead already on the side of Warriors Gaming Unity, and they're looking for another here as X-Nova's trying to just do whatever he can to keep himself up. Has his ult. He's going to cast it now. Doesn't have a TP though, so he's just going to be focused down. Meanwhile, the rest of the Radiant just going to work on the high ground, and they should be able to find at least this tower, if not the full lane of Rax.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like Rax here.
Has fallen.
Credit to Warriors Gaming though, that was very well timed. Like they initiated on the Shadow Fiend exactly as the Aegis was expiring. Just too strong, even despite being near a shrine. They take the fight down on the low ground, so it's not quite shrine gaming at that point for them. But
Man, my MVP
So
has
far
been
ahead.
Darkseer. Both of the walls he's put down so far have just been absolutely on point, angled correctly, positioned correctly. Shadow Fiend was able to Requiem while people were stuck in the wall. Just all sorts of wombo combo damage coming at you, facilitated by the Darkseer. Of course,
Yeah.
the 12-minute Greaves are helping things out as well.
still very good to have such amazing walls and vacuums without a blink dagger though. Certainly a lot of credit should be going ours way. I would agree with that. There's that full Crimson Guard now finished up here too for him. So Smoke is on Ninja Boogie. They want to keep the aggression going. They're going to pop it. Seems with their current vision, maybe they think there might be some action happening down on their Sven, so they're going to try and just like bait out and hope the entirety of the Dire is coming down, but that's not going to be the case.
I mean, they can just push in this bottom lane and force the Dire to be there. There's nothing against that right now. They're still pretty far ahead. That last shove onto high ground booted their net worth all the way up. They're close to 20,000 now.
A soldier's fortune.
Looking at the net worth breakdown, the Shadow Fiend still well at the top of the chart with almost 13,000 net worth. You compare that to the Meepo's 9,800. He's getting there, but is it fast enough to stop Mineski in their tracks?
Radiant's top
I don't
tower
think so.
is under attack.
Thanks, Mop
Mineski
Packs.
is very unlikely they lose this one.
Hey, dude, they're getting a tier 1.
Is under attack.
Warriors Gaming getting a little bit more farm for their Meepo. But looks like it will come at the cost of a tier 2 and potentially some pressure onto their tier 3s.
Dyer's bottom tower has fallen.
Back they go just to
Radiant's
try and push this out to
structures
make sure
are
they can
fortified.
save the tier 2. Shouldn't be any sort of a problem here either.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mineski looking great. I gotta say, the way they set up these lanes was just perfect. Without
Yeah,
the rotation from Warriors Gaming, it was just like a fine lane for Darkseer once the CM had a couple levels. Fine lane top for them. Just a great counterplay.
This Darkseer now has a full Crimson Guard on top of his Greaves at the time in the game where you'd be happy just to have Greaves. So he's definitely doing well for himself. In our first series today, we saw Mineski perform super crisp, super organized, and maybe it was the team they were against. We were trying to figure out, is this Mineski being phenomenal, or is it, maybe just an easy game for them? But this is just Mineski looking so clean against Warriors Gaming. They're still operating under that, really clean movements, good communication, and it's really paying off. You see Ben now going to get focused down, uses the Impale, but they've got the gem on this Lardar. He can't run from them. Got the Corrosive Haze as well, so they got eyes on him, they've got damage on him, and that's going to be the end of the next assassin's life.
Yeah, I mean, he tried. He went as far as he could, but in the line there, BKB as well, done here for Raging Potato. No initiation required. They
It's
can
just so
basically
hard
just
to
pick a
be-
lane once this rushes up, and that'll be another minute.
If you're Warriors Gaming right now, how do you play this out? Do you just 5-man protect your Meepo while he's farming in the jungle, or do you try to sneakily push out lanes like they're trying bot lane? Because it seems like there's just no win right now. If Mineski want to push, they're gonna push, and Warriors can't stop them.
Yeah, they basically need like those backline Meepos like sneaking in and cutting waves and stuff like that as much as possible, but in the end you're not gonna be able to delay it all. You just hope you can have this E-blade up and maybe be able to catch someone off guard, maybe initiate all in on someone and you save them with the blade possibly, just because it does a lot of right-click damage from Sven, as well as the Shadow Feed. His Jules is taunting the spawn of Roche with his Slithering Crush.
Take a look at the level breakdown right now. Of course, you got Meepo at the top of the chart because he's piloting 5 heroes, but other than that, it's super Mineski favored. You've got level 15 talents unlocked for virtually all of your heroes, whereas, Warriors Gaming, they've still got their Silencer at level 9. Hasn't even hit that first talent tree mark.
Yeah, pretty painful. Yeah. Oh, not opting for the Loda plus 20 move speed. I saw Loda get that, I think, twice so far when he was playing Sven. I thought was interesting, but
well,
the
the Lotus style, just run at you, get scared.
It's true, he needs all the movement speed he can get. And yeah, pretty standard ones for everyone else though.
Now, Warriors Gaming have got to be thinking, something's going on. The rest of the Radiant are taking the Roche, so they're like, yeah, why aren't they defending this tier 3 as it's being pushed? So they probably have a very good idea how this is going to go down.
Yeah, they're pinging it now from the Oracle, but it doesn't matter.
Roche is going to be dead. There's a smallest amount of chip damage onto that tier 3 from a couple of range creeps, but Mineski escaped pretty much unscratched from that, and they're able to push forward, and they're going to go for a high ground push of their own.
And they're going for a Shadow Blade here, trying to make some plays. All right. I guess what else are you really going to do here? The only other option would be like finishing your Hurricane Pike, and that's not gonna...
It's just, they're very aware that the Slardar has a gem, and the Nyx hasn't been able to get close to them, so Shadow Blade might have its drawbacks.
Yeah, I think it just comes back that same like ratting idea. You're just trying to delay, let Meepo do his thing.
Comes the high ground attempt. Jules just going in, dropping the haze.
It just can't even kill Miracle. I feel like he can just stand here and take this whole set of racks.
He's got a full butterfly now and the Aegis, so they have to unload everything to kill him once, and then he respawns, and, well, that's a rampage. We'll see. The Meepo is going to head down bottom for a little bit of free push while the Radiant are otherwise occupied. They're actually going to smoke around, walk up onto the high ground here to reinitiate from the back line. They do get the best of that Silencer, just chunked. That guy went from full to nothing in like half a second. Nana running away from the damage coming out of Jules, and it looks like they're going to find a secondary kill there. Buyback from the Silencer. They're going to bring back the Meepos. One's still pushing bottom if they need that escape, but as Tier 3 Tower has taken some serious damage, Crimson Guard keeping everyone healthy. And it's looking great. There was a smoke up from Warriors Gaming Unity to try to get that re-engaged. They bring in the Meepos. This could be a big play, but they got the Stormhammer. The Global Silence not slowing anyone down. Look at that vacuum wall. Oh, Darkseer, please. That was amazing. And it looks like the GG's called out as Mineski take game number 1 against Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, I had faith in the Meepo, but Mineski too good this game. The lane setup was just brutal. I mean, I really thought they would do some sort of rotation or something, but they just kind of almost like baited themselves into a bad laning stage with that Oracle pick. You have to go defensive. Like Oracle can't go aggro, or else it's just gonna be so bad. And then they just send the Darkseer down bottom, and that first kill up in the top lane, very handy. Plus the whole Meepo going down early, then that stagnated his own rotations to help out those side lanes, maybe make those things a little bit better. This Oracle just did nothing because he had nothing to do once the Darkseer. Yeah, exactly. But like. He couldn't do shit. Brutal. All right, yeah, well, we'll get that all sorted, and we'll be right back here for game number 2.